What's up, horror fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is having a great day thus far. We have finally got an update on a film that's, I think, many of us probably forgot about. It's been a couple of years, and I'm surprised we're even getting any information about this because the fact it's been a couple of years. It's one of those films that kind of just fell like into the abyss, so to speak. Again, many of you probably don't remember that this film was viewed at one point, at one of those festivals, and again, I think it just kind of fell at the wayside. No one probably really gave it, much thought. But with I want to call it a resurgence in horror in 2024 coming into 2025. I think this might be the best time for this film to make its debut, so to speak, as far as a widespread release. So we have finally an update on the Toxic Avenger reboot. So I have a couple of articles that we're gonna go through fairly quickly because the information is still very limited right now. Again, this film was something that was reviewed a couple of years ago. It had some star power behind it, right? It had some pretty well-known names starring in it, and that obviously didn't do anything for it, and which is a little bit surprising. Again, maybe it was just the time period in 2023. It wasn't the right time for it to come out. Again, with horror making its resurgence, I feel, in 2024, kind of busting the door down, so to speak, with a lot of original ideas. We also are getting a lot of legacy sequels coming into 2025, and 2025 being a big year for horror. Again, this might just been the right time for this film to finally say, hey, let's give it the green light, let's push out to theaters. So let's get right into some of these details. So as I just mentioned, the Toxic Avenger reboot is finally coming to theaters. Macon Blair's take on the 1984 trauma cult classic first premiered at Fantastic Fest back in 2023. So first premiered, and I think last time it was premiered or even viewed. So let's jump into this one. It's a pretty short article. I have another one that might have a little bit more detail. So almost 2 years since its premiere at Fantastic Fest in 2023, Macon Blair's The Toxic Avenger reboot is finally heading to theaters this year via Cineverse, starring Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood, Jacob Tremblay, Julia Davis, and Taylor Page. Blair's reimagining of the 1984 trauma cult classic follows a downtrodden janitor, Winston Goose, who will be played by Dinklage, who after a freak accident transformed into a mutant vigilante known as Toxie. Quote, armed with his signature mop, the unlikely hero battles freaks, gangsters, and corrupt CEOs while trying to save his relationship with his son. The story channels the submissive gonzo energy of the original Toxic Avenger while delivering a fresh contemporary twist. Here's what Blair has to say about the film finally hitting the big screen. Quote, I am beyond grateful to the team behind the Toxic Avenger, who were supportive and steady-handed as we searched for the perfect distribution partner for our film. It's so cool that folks will have the chance to see this in theaters. It's a fun, rowdy movie you want to see with a crowd. Mutant heroes smash bad guys with a mop. Perfect entertainment for the whole family. Our goal was always to preserve the heart and spirit of the original Toxie, which was seared into my brain at a very young age, and try to make something that trauma fans would dig and at the same time do something with the character that feels fresh. Lloyd and Michael at Trauma have been a blast to work with. Absolutely everyone at Legendary are stars, and I can't wait to start working with the champs at Cineverse to bring this version of Toxie to fans new and old. We have a few more down here. Quotes, Michael has Toxie and I have mopped our tears away. Macon Blair's fantoxic and reimaging of Toxie's life is even better than Trauma's. The Trauma fans will be ecstatic. And then it mentions here, way back when 2023, Fangos owned Angel Melanson described Blair's The Toxic Avenger as follows. Quote, the fans of the original have irreverent humor, clever kills, and copious amounts of gore to look forward to. If you imagine the Toxic Avenger with a bigger budget, Macon essentially nails it, staying true to the tone and humor with an impressive cast clearly up to the task and killer finale. So that's the last of the quotes. It mentions here Variety reports that Cineverse acquired all U.S. and Canadian theatrical, home entertainment, and streaming rights through a deal with Legendary Entertainment on behalf of Cineverse. The deal was negotiated by, it goes on to talk about who's negotiated by. So it's crazy again that this film, it's been 2 years since this film got its first look, and it feels like it was viewed, and even though it seems like there was support behind the film, that they felt that it stay true to the, as far as somewhat to the original film. I mean, if you felt that confident in it, why were you waiting 2 years to release it? I think 2024 probably would have been a great year to drop this film, whether it would have been a summer, during the summertime, end of summer blockbuster type release. I think it could have been very successful. I mean, 2024 was a prime year for horror films, and this, I think, could have done well, could have gotten a following behind it, especially when you consider the cult following of the original film. I mean, it's being titled as a reboot, and not too many people are okay with reboots, okay with remakes. But I mean, the Toxic Avenger is just one of those franchises. Again, it hasn't been dabbled with, hasn't been messed with too much. I mean, considering 1984 when the original film came out, we haven't seen many iterations of this character, of this on the big screen. So I think, again, this could have been a prime film to drop in 2024. Regardless, though, we're gonna get it in 2025. There's no date as to when we're going to get it. Now, there is another article I did come across, the Toxic Avenger reboot coming to theaters in 2025. I mean, this touches on much of what we just went over as far as the quotes. I did scan through this as far as looking for dates, any new information about what we could be looking forward to. Again, it did speak most to of what we already just went through, but I will provide both links of the articles in the description of this video below. Again, we don't have a release date for theaters, but we do know it's coming in 2025. Fingers crossed they don't push it out as far as into 2026, and fingers crossed that Cineverse, even though they hold the rights for theatrical, physical home release and streaming rights, that they don't just say, yeah, change of plans, we're just going to drop this onto streaming, we're not even going to bother with putting this in home theaters. I think that'd be a big mistake. Again, 2024 was a great year for horror. Coming into 2025, we have a lot of horror films coming out, especially the early part. I think dropping this during the summertime, or even right at the beginning of fall, leading right into the Halloween season, would be a great time to drop this film as well. Right now, there aren't too many films scheduled for the fall season and going into the Halloween season currently. So, there could be some films that do get moved around a bit, which typically happens. But I think one of two ways to drop this: during end of summer, or right going into the Halloween season would be a perfect time to drop this film and get people excited for this new, I want to say, iteration or take on the Toxic Avenger. So hopefully we'll get a date soon, and we'll be able to come back to you all with that. And hopefully we'll even get either a teaser trailer or an official full trailer for this film. There is a trailer out there. There is it's about a minute and 10 seconds, 15 seconds, that does show like the image of this scene, what happens. It's really brief. It does show how gory the film is going to be. So if you haven't seen that already, just do a quick Google search and you'll be able to check that out. Otherwise, everyone, that's going to do it for this horror news update for the Toxic Avenger. Let us know down in the comment section if you are looking forward to this reboot, or if you're just not a reboot person. You're, hey, I'm happy with the 1984 version, I don't need to see this character again, or I'm just not interested in this franchise. It's one of those 80s franchises that was just kind of corny. It was right for its time, but it's 2024. We don't need to see a new horror comedy take on the Toxic Avenger. Again, let us know down in the comments section. And if you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. To all my subscribers, new and existing, thank you for all the support. It is greatly appreciated as we continue to try to put out daily content, videos, and shorts. Make sure you check out our shorts as well. With our shorts, we are taking a little bit different approach. We are mixing it up a bit, where it's not all horror related, it's more real life related, more personal related. So make sure you check out our shorts as well. Otherwise, have a great one, and we will see you then. Peace.